We have not recorded the podcast in 3 weeks, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. First thing we want to get off our chest is these belligerent fans who kind of need to get punched in the face a little bit. I know that's not what we want from our NBA players, but I'm always kind of here for violence.
Is it not though?
I'm always here for violence. I think it's part of the reason why I like seeing them fight occasionally. So like them versus regular people, I'm excited.
Like I'm not here for violence, just be off principle. Like there are other ways to solve your problems, but like I I can't just be like it's just like you can't you shouldn't just act any kind of way.
Yeah, like
Like
you threw down a gauntlet though.
okay, I'll say it like this. What's that phrase? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Right? I'm not saying that like I'm not saying like fans everywhere should just be well like the what am I trying to say? I feel like I'm about to say multiple dumb things, but just like it would probably make things better if it happened once. Just because like then some of them would think twice, like, oh, maybe I'm about to get my ass beat if I'm out here throwing like cups at people and like doing all kinds like doing and saying anything to the players, the people who I supposedly am a fan of, and I spent my money to watch them play. Which why would you don't have to buy tickets. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about this now.
It's a bad investment. It's a really bad investment.
Like you go just to get ticked off the people you paid money to see.
And it's playoff. It's a playoff ticket. Right after COVID, you know the prices are stupid.
I don't. My whole thing is, and I've been thinking about this a lot recently. Has the number of fan incidences gone up, or is it just we're coming out of COVID and people thought that the fan incidences were going to just be like not a thing because people are so happy to be into the stadiums or the arenas, whatever. So all of a sudden, when something happens, there's more spotlight put on it. You know what I mean? It's like I've really thought about this, and I'm not sure. I don't know which one's which, but I'm positive. If you go back and listen to old NBA players specifically, go back and listen to some of their past incidences and things that's happened to them. Fans been acting wild for a long time. Fans always acted wild. We hear about people have been throwing stuff on the court at people forever. You know what I mean? You can go back to the gladiator days. Like people have been doing it forever. But I think that once we got out of once the arena started opening up and fans started going back, people had kind of like glorified subconsciously like what fan interactions were gonna be like with the athletes and the players, and then they quickly realized there's just some douchebags out there. There's some awful people out there, and those awful people were in their room, their houses, just waiting for their opportunity to get out. They're watching the games in the bubble. And then their head like, ooh, I can't wait to get back into the Boston Garden so I can throw someone. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably the case for some people. But, like, I don't think that the fan incidences are getting more ridiculous. They're just the same, but we just started coming back into the arenas after a long hiatus. So it's a bit, fresh. So a bit more fresh in our minds. Because you had that one dude who ran up to the court. People have been running the course all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got pictures of little kids running the course all the time, trying to hug LeBron and Carmelo Anthony and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'm not sure which one it is because I kind of equated it to like, like the mass shooting thing. This got real dark real quick, but I'll just let you know.
mhm.
When like the pandemic happened, mass shootings went down obviously because people weren't out and about. All of a sudden, the pandemic started to lighten a bit, and the mass shootings went up, and all of a sudden it was breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Now there's one every weekend. We barely hear about it. I think the exact same thing is going to happen when it comes to fan behavior when it comes to the arena things too. It first happened. breaking news, like, oh, this thing happened this week, happened this game, blah blah blah, real sudden, real quick. But eventually, we're gonna get back to where we were. It's gonna be okay. People just ignorant, go on living their lives. So,
like as you were talking, I thought about something that like it's probably like you said, kind of a combination both of like, of course, ignorant, belligerent, entitled fans have existed for a while, basically since the dawn of sports, and like we probably did kind of glorify just like people finally get back in and see games live, like they just like you said, just kind of be happy to be there, they go, they enjoy it, the game, like they probably cuss in their seats or whatever, and like they go home. But like something that occurred to me, right, is that the thing is, in all likelihood, right, because like of course with most of the stadiums that do have like basically everywhere, even like if they have fans, it's a much smaller number than usual in terms of like allowed seating. And like it occurs to me that like the kind of the fans most likely to show back up this early are going to be the more entitled, belligerent, probably wealthier fans. And the more entitled, belligerent, wealthier fans are going to act entitled, belligerent, and wealthy, like they don't have any home training for real. Which is not good, but like you can make the argument kind of that also some of that becomes less noticeable, and they can kind of do less harm when like there are thousands of other fans that are acting like they have some goddamn sense.
Yeah. But I don't know if you can actually do anything about it though. So like there's like,
can I give my solution?
Okay,
I had to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I feel like I know where this is going.
Next time when the player association meets, they need to negotiate that once every 20 years.
Okay, got you. I know just going.
Slide a balance in the palace in. Just write that in there. Write that in there where nobody gets in trouble, because everybody needs an attitude adjustment. I think if we see how massive these people are, and you think they like friendly giants. Nobody was really messing with nobody. Ron Artest. Like all we need is one or two. All we need is one or two. I think people will put two and two together. Like these aren't children. And if they are, they're 6'10" children, and you should probably just leave them alone. Like one part of the equation is you just don't think nothing's gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
No.
With there being there's multiple factors that are involved. One, entitlement, like Calvin said. Two, as long as you sell alcohol at a sporting event, these things are bound to happen. Like, it is what it is. Like, you get that liquid courage in them, and they already feel entitled beforehand, they're going to do some wild things. You know what I mean? Boston Garden is notorious. For Boston in general, in sports, is a notorious place for wild things to happen. Philadelphia, same thing. In some ways, I'm like, this is bad. I don't even know. Like, in some ways, I'm like, this is bad. It's got to stop. How do you stop it? Solution. But in other ways, I'm like, people take sports really seriously. Like, there are true, like, I'm a sports fan, but there are true, like, sports fans. Like, the fandom is like a real thing. Like, it's like a level that's like above mine for like their home team or home players, whatever. And so they're gonna act wild in like a weird defense mechanism kind of way because it's like a representation of them, I guess. And I don't know if you can stop that. Granted, I'd rather it be popcorn than something way more drastic. You know what I mean? Because people are wild. People are wild. So people are going to do something. But once again, it kind of is sports too. Like in hockey games, they do wild things too. You know what I mean? Like sports are a wild thing, and people take it passionately. So I'm kind of torn on it because I know that like you have to stop it to a degree, but then I don't even know how you stop that because of how people feel. Now the Mouse in the Palace happened, but I guarantee you, since then up until the bubble and after the bubble, excuse me, many things have been said to players. Many things have been thrown at players. You know what I mean? So honestly, you'd rather catch them in the arena than outside the arena. Just say, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a weird situation.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got any more for that one?
I mean, at a certain point, you start talking in circles. Just
Yeah.
entitled ass fans doing entitled ass shit, and like at a certain point, just like there are things they can do that they probably won't do. That also you could just actually arrest and press charges to folks. It's not entitled. It's not necessarily going to stop it, but like when some people realize there are penalties for acting like an asshole in a game you paid money for to go and like watch and enjoy. Some of them, well, in fairness, some of the like
You paid to go to jail. Stupid.
it just occurred to me that a number of these people, probably most of these people who are actually acting this belligerent, also have the money to just post their own bail and have good ass lawyers.
And that's cool. We're gonna walk out of here on this one liner because I just thought of it. It makes me laugh. Entitled fans deserve entitled hands.
I'm here for it.
They do.
Once again, Calvin McGowan, hope you enjoyed yourself. If you are watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, leave something in the comments. You can also listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. If you made it this far, once again, thank you. I hope you got a lot done of whatever it was you were working on while listening to this. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.